Hello everyone, welcome to the Angry and Ornery Show. This is episode 7, coming to you live from the beautiful Staccato Sim in Second Life, specifically the city of Avalon. Thank you, Cami Larimore, for letting us use this space. We are happy to have you with us today. We have some studio audience members, and feel free to chat it up in local chat. We'll try to look at what you're saying and respond to you. Sometimes we can see it, sometimes we can't, so don't get mad if we don't reply to everything. I'm in northern Ohio, and a storm, a pretty severe storm, just passed through. So we're hoping that it has now gone and won't come back. So if for some reason you see me disappear, it's because there's bad electric in the air. Anyways, I would like to bring out my co-host, if he would be so kind. Lionheart, please come on out. At some point today.
I'm coming. I'm hoping I don't fly across the stage like I did last time and end up in an audience member's lap.
Well, you're really close to me there, and I thought you may have been breaking our personal boundaries. But anyways, I do understand that you are under the weather. Is that true?
Yes, I am extremely sick. The plague has hit the desert.
Can you be a bit more specific about this plague?
You really don't want me to be specific, but take the flu and kick it up by 10.
Maybe you have MERS that's going around.
Excuse me, I'm going to turn into Merv Griffin? What?
No. Or maybe you have the measles that's going around.
No, sir. It's not the measles.
The mumps? Just the mumps are going around.
What are you, an Encyclopedia Britannica on diseases now?
No, I'm a hypochondriac. I think it's probably VD because you live so close to Las Vegas.
Oh no! I get my shots for that. I'm fine.
Well, do you think you're going to be able to make it through the show? That's the important question.
You know what? If I go silent, that means I'm probably dead.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Well, did you leave anything to me, like your extensive video collection?
Yeah, I left you all the bills for the extensive video collection.
Thanks. Let's have a seat and start the show.
Got it.
So I should tell you that this is being streamed live on Livestream, and the information will be on the screen at this point, so you can catch it there next week if you'd like. Also, this will be edited and put on YouTube in about 2 or 3 days. So please take a look at that, because we'll cut in some graphics and some text and maybe some shots of the audience, all the pretty people sitting in our audience. If you are out there watching this on YouTube or live stream, please get on Second Life. It's a lot of fun, and we have a studio here that you can come in and watch the show live, and you can pick on us or we'll pick on you. Either way, you should get on because it is a great deal of fun. And I would actually like to spend a couple of minutes tonight talking about Second Life, if you don't mind, Lionheart.
I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Okay. The first thing, this is, what is today, the 21st, right? May 21st. They announced, they being Linden Labs, that the Oculus Rift technology is available in their new viewer. And the new viewer is available at secondlife.com, and you can download it. Now, I don't know if the new viewer is going to be user-friendly, especially newbie user-friendly. I've never used Linden Labs viewer. I've always used Firestorm. I just find it a little bit easier to navigate and use. But now I might actually have to download and add Second Life's viewer, because it is compatible with the Oculus Rift technology. For those of you that aren't sure you know what that is, there is a technology, goggles that you can purchase at certain electronics stores. You wear them on your head, and it completely covers up your face and your front of your your eyes and such. And you can then plug into the viewer, and I'm hearing an echo. I don't know if that's is that everybody or anybody, but oh, it went away.
Maybe it was just in your head.
It could have been. I'm hearing the voices again. Anyways, as one of our audience members points out, that the goggles are about $800. I know you can get them online. But anyways, when you plug it into the viewer, you can experience Second Life in actual 3D. Your head movements, your body movements, and so forth is what your avatar does. So it will fully immerse you into the world, and the world will be, 360 degrees around you, and you can turn in all directions with your head, and it won't just be on a flat screen. There's a really cool video that explains it, and I will put that in post-production for all of you out there if you're interested in the Oculus Rift technology. But what this brings up is some interesting possibilities, Lionheart. Can you imagine, they're already, Linden Labs that is already recommending certain sims that are really going to be, are great with the Oculus Rift experience. But now a lot of people are just redesigning their sims for this technology so that, when you're immersed in it, it's all the detail is around you in a 3D type of situation. Do you think you would ever want to try this, Lionheart?
Oh, I have problems with my own reality. You think I'm going to try to get into something like that where it's all around me? Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, it's becoming more and more like the movie Avatar, if you think about it, or a lot of these other movies where there was another dimension or a Matrix situation, Tron, if you will. What else? Movies that are similar to that. The Matrix, like I said, all 3 movies, and it's getting closer and closer to that technology, and it's getting scary, but I really want to do it. I don't think I can afford the goggles, so I may have to wait until the price comes down, but it's going to be cool, and I would be happy to design places for that 3D, experience. I think I probably would throw up, though, the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
But we'll adapt, right?
You either adapt or you die.
Right. Wiser words were never said.
You.
Such an
idiot. It's the cold medicine.
Are you drinking with the cold medicine?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I? It says to keep hydrated. I mean, whiskey's liquid.
Nice. Good.
Yeah.
All right, so when he goes silent, you'll know he's dead. The second thing I wanted to talk about Second Life currently is, and this is a plug for a company that I really have no association with other than I'm a customer. So if they're watching this or if they see this, you just got a free commercial. And it's for a company called Studio Sky. And I actually have talked to the owner and wanted him to come on the show. And he may in the future, but right now he's very shy. He speaks broken English, he's Spanish, and he was just a little, I felt a little intimidated and uncomfortable about getting up and actually speaking. So, but maybe I can talk him into it eventually. What would be really great is he actually sent me some free stuff for giving him this plug. I have no pride or integrity.
Wow.
But anyways,
swag bags.
Studio Sky makes some of the most exquisite natural terrain that you'll find on Second Life. And the reason why I'm bringing it up, because I'm sure it's going to be very popular with this Oculus Rift technology. They do things like mountains or rock formations or certain types of trees and grass or riverbeds. And I'm not talking just your average run-of-the-mill schmucky stuff that everybody does, because there are thousands and thousands of tree makers out there. I mean, literally thousands. This guy has found ways of texturing that is photorealistic, I mean hyper-real, so that you can see the crevices in the bark of the trees. Each individual leaf is different from each other. He's got, an example would be his riverbed set. And by the way, this stuff isn't cheap. It comes in at around 700 lindens each thing that you purchase from him. And he probably has, I don't know, 200-300 items now on Marketplace. But the example of the riverbed, you know, when you're working with on land like Linden Land, you have to dig your own river, and sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Or if you have a skybox, you don't have the luxury of having ground to terraform. So he creates a lot of stuff that you can put on skyboxes that looks like natural earth. And this riverbank is one of them. There are pieces of the riverbank, and then there's the floor of the river, and then there's the actual water that you can put in. And it's so realistic. It looks more real than I think than Linden rivers and water does. But he even adds things like add-ons like the leaves that flow down the river. So you create the river and you put like an autumn tree over it, and then the autumn tree is dropping leaves automatically as a reser, and then the leaves float down the river as you're standing there. So it's just little things like that. It's just spectacular. So give his Marketplace a look. I think he has a website too, and if I can find it, I'll put it in post-production. But anyways, like I said, I'm not associated with them. I just good quality builders here in Second Life are few and far between, and I definitely think that Studio Skies is one of the best out there. So, any comments, Lionheart?
He's good with the crevices, huh?
He is. Yeah, he's got good.
Can he do the crevices on Edward James Olmos's face?
Oh man! All right, so I'm going to give it to you, and
what are you going to give to me? Wait, whoa! What are you? Like,
well,
what?
Apparently not.
Oh.
Apparently not the plague. You already have that.
Oh, I already have that.
Right.
So been an interesting week since our last show. Of course, Godzilla opened and dominated the box office.
How well did it do?
Almost 200 million worldwide. Well, I shouldn't say worldwide. It was the U.S. and Japan. Right. So right now, for those figures for worldwide, it is currently the #1 blockbuster of the year. Of course, the sequel's already being written. I had the pleasure of seeing it. I'm not going to give anything away about the movie. I will say, as a movie critic, I will give it 4 stars. As
4 stars out of how many?
Out of 4.
4 out of 4. Usually it's 5.
4 out of 4. Well, I go with 4. I like even numbers.
Okay. All right.
But as a true blue Godzilla fan, I'm only going to give it 3. And this isn't ruining it for anybody. When the monsters first show up, you see them for a split second, and then it cuts away, and then it's people watching the fight on TV in the background. So it's very Cloverfield-esque. It's how people are reacting to the monsters that are fighting around them.
I have not seen the movie, and I wanted to ask you: is it like Cloverfield, where it's that handheld shaky camera?
No. It's normally done just like a normal Godzilla film. But I mean, if you wait for the final act, you get your payoff. You know, for being a Godzilla fan or a movie fan. This was the first time ever in the history of seeing films that the audience actually broke out and cheered 4 separate times during the ending. I mean, people were applauding and going nuts.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see it this weekend. Yeah. I may see a matinee Sunday of it, but Captain America, has that left the theater yet, or is that still going?
It's still going in some of the smaller theaters. It's not as large because you had Godzilla open, and then also this weekend you have X-Men that's opening, and of course, you know, the 2 of those are going to battle it out for box office. So that should be interesting to see who ends up on top.
Right.
So, and of course, all of our TV shows had their season finales. So, you know, S.H.I.E.L.D. ended, which was real good.
Yeah, the S.H.I.E.L.D. Final finale was exceptional, in my opinion. I was always kind of on the fence about whether I was a devoted fan of the show. I mean, I liked it, but it wasn't. But after seeing the finale, which I won't reveal because our criteria is 2 weeks, did we say, after?
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it's fair game.
Right, but all I can tell you is if you've DVR'd it and you're a few episodes behind, get caught up and see the finale, because it was filled with so many shocking, surprising, and hilarious scenes.
Yeah, I mean, you laugh. I mean, it's got that humor in it, and
like the Avengers humor.
Yeah. You were saying earlier before the show, you can tell when Joss Whedon has his hand in something because you get an intelligent humor in the show.
It's a real nerdy humor, like the Buffy the Vampire Slayer type of humor.
Right. And on the weird track, did you watch the Billboard Music Awards recently?
I didn't, but I saw the screw up by the Jenner kid on Facebook.
I don't think she did a screw up. I just think that they're all screw ups. Anybody that has the name Jenner or Kardashian, but that's me.
Right.
No.
But
Michael
here's
Jackson
the difference.
performed.
Oh wait, before you talk about Michael Jackson, just one quick thing about the Jenner kids. John Travolta screwed up when he introduced the Let It Go singer, who I won't even attempt her name, but somebody will type it in local, I'm sure. And he got a hell of a backlash from that. Everybody made fun of him. They're still making fun of him. And now this Jenner Kardashian Kenner girl. She's like a Barbie doll, so she's made by Kenner. She screwed up, but you know what? She's going to get away with it. And you know why?
She's not an actress.
No, because she's cute. She's a pretty
she's
girl, and no one's going to say anything about it.
Yeah, well, she screwed up there. I said something about it. Mike, how do you feel about the fact that they had Michael Jackson perform live on stage? Right,
yeah, and there's lots of things I can say about that. I have not seen it yet. I'm going to watch it. I'm sure it's been YouTubed or whatever. Like I said, I didn't see the Billboard Awards. If I would have known that was going to be on, I probably would have DVR'd it, but it's been a little busy around here. Anyways, the thing about Michael Jackson is I grew up in the 70s and kind of followed his career in age. And I was never a fan of his. I didn't really like the pop music or the dance music he did. A lot of people jumped on that, his couple of big smash albums, the Billie Jean album and whatever else. Thriller, right, and all that. And I just never really cared for it. Maybe I was just 4 or 5 years too old for it. I don't know. But I will say this. Now that he's gone and you compare his music to current music, it's almost like I like it now, I mean, it's like at least there was a melody and a theme and something interesting to hear. I'm sorry, it's just today's music, and I'm not talking about hip-hop or rap, which I'm not a fan of. I'm talking about this droning, emo, garage band music crap that seems to just be repetitive, same songs, same ideas, same themes, same melodies over and over again. Michael Jackson, good or bad, he made some good quality music, and he was a consummate performer. So, bringing that up to the Billboard Awards, I think that it's pretty cool that technology will allow holograms. I guess that's what you call holographic images.
Yeah, no, that's what they called it, was a hologram. Exactly.
Performing. I mean, it was old footage that was previously filmed right before he died, right?
No, this was apparently because he was singing. This was his face, his mouth, singing to the lyrics and moving and dancing to it. It was like an actual real Michael Jackson on the ground. It was all done computer animated, like you do King Kong or anything like that.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I was under the understanding that this was footage because they're releasing an album of his, and it was all forgotten tracks, and they pieced it together for a full album. And I just assumed that there was video of him singing one or two of these songs.
No, this is something brand new that they did. And this, I mean, like I said, the lips matched up to what he was singing and everything. And this reopens.
Jerky? I mean, does it look like a...
No. It looks like a real person out there dancing because there were other performers on the stage. This is how epic this was. I mean, you have this hologram on stage dancing and moving, and there's other people almost interacting with him on the stage. And, you know, this reopens up the door that they did a few years ago when they started having John Wayne sell Budweiser and stuff like that, and, you know, Gene Kelly selling Diet Coke. Right. Are we
Christopher
not too
Reeve
far? Right.
Walking during that one commercial? Yeah.
Yeah. Are we getting close to where actors are going to be out of work because a studio owns the likeness of a, you know, we'll just use Vincent Price as an example, you know, from one of his films, and remake a film and have him potentially star in it. I mean, they get down.
I think it's possible right now because, I mean, after the movie Avatar, you saw, you know, the computer graphics of those creatures mixed in with live humans, and I've watched that movie probably 2 or 3 times, and
I watched 15 minutes of it and turned it off.
Oh, dude, come on now! You have to watch the whole film.
I hate James Cameron. I hate James Cameron.
Wow! Okay,
I want him dead.
This is where we definitely differ. I think Cameron's a genius, and how could you not say that Titanic is not one of the best movies?
Oh my God! You had to mention Titanic. See, this is why I secretly moved to the desert, is because I'm honing in on where James Cameron is at and where Steven Spielberg is at, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up James Cameron and beat Steven Spielberg to death with.
Well, we definitely have a difference in opinion on directors, because I do like Steven Spielberg too, and I think these men have made some of the most, you know, the more modern classics that everybody knows about. I mean, he has directed the highest grossing films in history. How can you deny his talent?
They're sheep.
Yeah, all right, whatever.
They're sheep.
Seriously.
Dude,
have you watched Titanic all the way through?
Yes, I went to the theater and saw it, unfortunately.
All right, so how can you criticize Avatar if you've not watched it all the way through?
Because I couldn't get through it. I'm not going to watch something that looks like stupid garbage. I didn't like the acting. I didn't like one person. You name one decent actor. I'm not talking about effects. You name one decent actor in that film.
I think Zoe, whatever her name is incredibly talented and charming, and even though she was just the voice, they created the computer graphic to express emotion, and I think Avatar was again. The whole point I'm bringing is that the holographic avatars, if you want to call them that, in the movie Avatar is the closest we've got to seeing human emotion on a basic cartoon. And if they can do that, and they're doing the thing with Michael Jackson, then, you know, what's stopping them to bring, you know, Humphrey Bogart into a modern film now, or John Wayne?
They actually did a movie with Humphrey Bogart coming back. It was an episode of Tales from the Crypt, and they used Bogart's face digitally put in, and the gentleman, Scotchy, I can't think of his first name right now, who is the world-famous Bogart impersonator, and he did the voice, but they actually used Bogart's face digitally put in.
Right. Well, digitally put in is not uncommon. That's been going on since, you know, Woody Allen did it in Zelig and a few other films. But I'm talking about actually having holographic actors on the set and filming them with other actors.
Yeah,
which is apparently what they did with this Michael Jackson thing.
Right. And I'm sorry, he's dead. Let him go. We don't need to keep on releasing stuff.
Another frame of mind here is, why not bring the classic actors back, like Jimmy Stewart, John Wayne, you know, Humphrey Bogart, whatever, and put them in mixed up with new actors? And I mean, all Hollywood is doing is retreading movies anyway, so there's nothing new. I mean, Hollywood is dead, art is dead. There's not a single. Everything's either a reboot or a sequel or whatever. So why not bring, you know, these other actors back in? Is it defamatory? I mean, is it horrible to their name, or is it actually a chance to see living history? So generations, beyond us that don't know about these actors can see them perform.
Yeah, that's what DVD and Blu-ray is for, so that way the future generations can see them act.
Well, I know, but, how many people under the age of 20 actually is going to go out and get a black and white movie and watch it?
You never know.
Yeah.
Once we enlighten these young people, they will go out and do as we say. They will flock to the sounds of our voices and rent Casablanca.
Well, you should. You should rent Casablanca and African Queen and a few other Maltese Falcon and see Humphrey Bogart act. I mean, what a natural the guy was. And, I wasn't a huge Western fan, but John Wayne, I mean, he did more than just Westerns. And he's not the greatest actor in the world, but he had such a presence, and
Right.
I love anything Jimmy Stewart was in and Katharine Hepburn and, anyway.
Sinatra and all of them. Classic.
I would feel horrible if I didn't say that I think you're a bumbling asshole by saying that you think James Cameron sucks.
I'm sorry. I don't like a single one of his films.
I don't understand where that comes from.
I don't know. I don't like any of his films. I can honestly say I've not sat down and watched one of his films and gone, hey, I like that. I like that a lot.
Here's the thing about Titanic, and
Titanic.
I can watch it and I've always had a fascination with that story. Anyways, even the old black and white movies, which there was I think 2 or 3 made. One with Barbara Stanwyck called A Night to Remember. I watched that as a little kid. I watched it. I don't know. I'm like obsessed over the Titanic tragedy. But I think there is a lot of unnatural obsession over that anyways. So when the movie came out, I was pleasantly surprised that not only did it include the tragedy with all the great, effects of I hate to say it, but people dying in the ship sinking. Oh, there's a spoiler. Sorry, the ship sinks. But it also was a great, almost like chick flick romance. I mean, that was a great romance. I mean, between those two actors, and I didn't even like Leonardo DiCaprio back then, and I probably didn't think he was the best choice for that movie, but I think he's proven himself now as a formidable actor. I think he's really good. He's certainly he's made several films that I consider great films. The Aviator, I think, is a great movie. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen The Aviator. I like that film. I had nothing against Leonardo DiCaprio in the film. It's just I don't know.
Well, I mean, he was a pretty boy, and the fact that he dies, and there's all that boo-hooing and all. I could have done without that, but still, it was this great romance story. I mean, here's a romance that lasted like 3 days, and everything that could occur did occur during those 3 days. Telling the story of the tragedy through the eyes of these two kids that have immediately have fallen in love. I just thought, and then tragically was snuffed out. I just thought that was brilliant, and Cameron made those choices. You're going to tell me you don't like Peter Jackson too, right?
No, I like Peter Jackson. I think he's a good guy. He makes solid films. He's down to earth.
And
Cameron?
Gilbert Grape was a great start for Leonardo, by the way. I agree that he was great in that film. But what do you think about, or why in God's name do you think Steven Spielberg is a bad director?
Once again, when I say Steven Spielberg's a bad director, everybody does the same exact thing. What about Jaws? Jaws is a great film. Okay. Yeah,
do
Jaws
they sound like that when they talk?
Yes, they do. They're older ladies that say it, and they're usually getting their matzo ball soup at the deli. But Jaws was a good flick. It worked, and I hate E.T. I hate E.T. with a fiery passion.
Why?
I don't know. I don't like the film, and you're going to get into a fist fight with me on this. I hate Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I think that is the stupidest waste of 2.5 hours. I'm sorry.
You're a moron. You're a moron. And
why? Because I have an opinion and I'm willing to voice it.
This is why. Because you hate movies and you're not giving me any specific reason. This movie, I mean, the movies that you've listed are beloved classics. You know, and there's a reason why they become beloved classics.
Okay. Let's look at Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Right. You have short on time, so we got to hurry this up.
You have a gentleman who has an encounter, and it drives him a little crazy, and it's driving the family nuts. So he's obsessed to find out exactly what's going on, and 2 hours later, in all these government conspiracy cover-ups, you go up to Devil's Foot Mountain in Wyoming, and a mothership appears. Now, nobody on the entire planet sees this mothership appear except for these few people up on top of this mountain. And, of course, out of everybody, they pick him to go off in the mothership. Where is the frickin' story in that?
All right, first of all, the name of the movie is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. We get to see the first kind, which takes up about a third of the film, which I think was brilliant and awe-inspiring. As someone who looks to the skies and hopes he sees a UFO someday, that was really cool for a young Zoltan Mint. Secondly, you see Close Encounter of the Second Kind, which is, all of the action going on, and that's when the government gets involved, and that's when he thinks he's going crazy, and all of that at Devil's Tower. And finally, the third is the climax of the film, when you get to see the third encounter, and that's when the aliens come out. They greet people. They release the prisoners that they took in the past, or whatever they were, the people from the past, and they are allowing other subjects to get on board. Well, apparently, a few lucky people who had been probed, either mentally, spiritually, or otherwise, were allowed to get on the ship. The movie's not about the aliens and what's going to happen afterwards. It's about leading up to that point, hence the title, Third Encounter.
But there's no real meat and potatoes to that storyline. It's nothing fresh, it's nothing original, and it's not nothing we can see. No, it wasn't. There are films from the 30s and the 40s that are...
Right. And you know what those 30s and 40s black and white films were? Robbie Robot comes out of a saucer and shoots his ray gun at everybody.
Well, you know what? I'd rather watch one of those than Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Or E.T., which
Here's what it is, dude. This is what it is. The reason why you don't like E.T. and Close Encounters and Steven Spielberg movies is twofold. First, I know you, and you're a traditional black and white 1950s horror fan. You like those old films that probably came up with most of the ideas that the 60s, 70s, and 80s used, but just had better special effects. Am I correct on that level?
Well, yes, I do enjoy the older classics better than the newer.
Right. The second thing is, you don't like superstardom. You don't like people, whether they're performers, directors, producers, actors, whatever, that maintain that actually get to that level that they're so big and so popular that people make fun of them. You don't want to jump on the wagon and be part of the fandom of guys that get huge. Am I right there?
No, you're the exact opposite, because you got Marty Scorsese, who huge fan of, and I understand why his films, and I understand why they're groundbreaking. You got Francis Ford Coppola, George Lucas. I'm a fan of George Lucas, and everybody says, how can you be a fan of Lucas and not be a fan of Spielberg?
George Lucas is a sellout.
You know what? Good for him. He marketed something and he made a fortune on it. Good for him.
Well,
smart man.
It's going to be good for him, certainly, financially. But what's not going to be good is if J.J. Abrams drops the ball. And there's that potential because, out of the chute, Abrams was a star child. I mean, he did Lost, and everybody worshipped him. That you're one of the best directors ever. But now, and the Star Trek films too, he did a good job on those, I think.
Yeah.
But now he's had a few projects that have sucked. And I didn't want to admit it because I'm a huge J.J. Abrams fan. I loved him when he talked at the TED convention and what he said. He's a fellow magician, too, so I have kind of a brotherhood thing with him. But anyways, he could fall flat on his face with the new Star Wars movies. These things can tank. The proof of that? The last 3 Star Wars movies, right?
Well, and yes, I agree with you, but the last 3 Star Wars films, I'm not a big fan of, but you have to take those with a grain of salt and look at them as their own 3 films. If you forget about the other 3 films,
George Lucas, my friend.
I understand that, and that's why I'm saying if you forget about the other 3 and you watch these 3 alone, it's decent. Yes, he overplayed towards the kids. Yes, he did a lot of stuff to market it as a toy or a game, but
how did Abrams get Star Trek and Star Wars?
Yeah, you know what? Because right now he's pooping gold and everybody's loving it.
I guess so.
Yeah, he's golden.
By the way, I think Star Trek and Star Wars certainly are other shows in the future. Our half hour's up, dude.
Oh,
you want to conclude with anything?
Yes. Spielberg sucks. Cameron sucks. Okay, I'm done.
I will conclude with you suck for saying that. If I had a slapped animation right now, I would slap you. Stand over close to me. Let's see if I can run into you. Here. I'll push you over the chair, bitch. Sing Cameron sucks, you rotten son of a bitch. Come here.
Cameron
Don't
sucks.
run away from me.
Titanic sucks.
You're an asshole. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry you had to see that, and I hope our camera can keep up with those hijinks. We might have to edit that out. Send all of your hate mail to Lionheart, resident in Second Life. Or you can send it to me, and I will make sure he gets to it. Remember, he's the one that said that Titanic, Cameron, and Steven Spielberg sucks. Oh, E.T., the cute little alien that eats Reese's Pieces, he sucks too, according to Lionheart.
Yeah, because you know what? I'm OCD and the damn alien eats off the floor. What alien eats off the floor? He eats it off of the forest floor. It could be bear
drunk,
crap.
Dude. He was drunk. He was sick and drunk. I hope you feel good making fun.
I
of
wish
a little drunken alien.
I wish him and the kid would have died. It would have been a much better ending.
You're an asshole. Anyways, thank you, studio audience, for coming to our show. Thank you for any of the tips that you might be sending out there, and please take a look at the YouTube video. We'll splice her up, and make her look nice. We will see you in 2 weeks when we do this all again, and maybe Lionheart will not be with us because I will, I don't know, kill him. Anyways, thank you, everybody.
Be in jail killing Cameron.
Thank you, everyone, and good night.
Good night.